Okay, welcome to my Monday Credit Money Machine basic training. What we'll cover today is kind of the general navigation of the system, how to add contacts, how to add affiliates, how to connect affiliates to different contacts in your system, whether it be a lead or a client, and also we'll go over, the email, kind of the general email system, how to send an email from a contact record, how to add tasks, how to look at your task manager, how to manage your daily to-dos inside Credit Money Machine, and then anything else that we have time for, I'll do my best to cover. In the basic training, I typically don't take as many questions as I do in the advanced because I want to try to keep it simple. And use this for somebody that's new to the system or has just recently purchased the system and is looking for help for their everyday use, the general everyday use of the system. So I'm going to get started right away. As people join, realize that this is recorded. We will send out a link to the recorded webinar if you missed anything or if you need to go back and watch the video to pick up on some of the things I'm doing. All right, I'm going to get started right away here. What you're looking at right now is the contact record in the system. You've got Apple Sample here. And what I'm going to do first is just kind of explain to you guys what all these little icons are and the fact that in our system, you can hover over anything, any area of the system, any button just about, and get an explanation of exactly what it is. Okay? As you can see, I'm just hovering over these little icons and they're telling me exactly what they are. The other part is when you're using the system, don't be afraid. You're not going to break anything. I can click on it and move around. So what this is, let's just start. What this is going to do is identify what type of contact this contact record is. So right now I've got it as identified with the letter L. When I hover here, it identifies that as a lead. If I want to change it to an active client, I can simply click it, change it to C, which is active client. Okay, we'll go back to lead. And it's real simple to just add content to the contact record. I just click in a field and I type. Okay, pretty straightforward stuff as far as the different fields here. And again, I can hover over any icon in the system and see exactly what it is, what it does. It'll explain to me in detail what exactly it does. Adding a contact, I just can simply click the Add Contact button. And what's going to happen is it's going to give me a menu. And this menu is just asking me what type of contact record do I want to add. In this case, I'm going to add an affiliate. Okay. The reason I'm adding it as an affiliate here is it's automatically going to mark it as a potential referral source down here, and you'll see that the record is different than the one I was just on, which was Apple Sample. Let's see if I can go back and show you. See how Apple Sample is marked as a lead or a client, okay? When I add as a affiliate, it's automatically going to check mark this box down here to tag this contact as not only an affiliate here, but a referral source, and it'll change the color of the record. So let's just add one real quick. Let's say and then this field here is what their position is in that company. If it's an affiliate, typically they'll be a part of a company. I can use the drop down, or I can just simply click in here and type. So I'll just call it a loan officer, branch manager, whatever the case. Right, so these are the basics. All right, so adding a record, I just simply go here under the contacts in my quick menu, and I hit Add Contact. I identify what type of record it is I want to add. You see active client, not active client, lead, affiliate, provider, other. Provider and other, the way I use them in the system is a provider is going to be like a vendor of mine, somebody that provides me a service. So maybe my phone system. I currently use Finality, so I would identify Finality as a provider. Other is kind of my miscellaneous category. So you guys can use these any way you like, but that's kind of how I identify these two items or these two types of records. Once I've identified the type, it's just going to create a blank contact record for me so that I can enter that information, whatever information I have, to create that record. In this case, we'll go ahead and just go back to Apple Sample here. Okay. So I've got Apple Sample here. She's a contact record in my system. I've got her marked as a lead, and I've got all her information in. Now, what you'll see here is I've also got her email address. I've got a couple of email addresses in this email field. And the nice part about this system, okay, is that everything's on one screen. I don't have to navigate around. I don't have to mess around with going and finding different areas or going into another software, another system to send somebody an email or to communicate with them. I can simply do it from their contact record. So I've got an email address here on her record, and I can simply put my cursor in. If I've got two email addresses here, I can simply put my cursor in the email address like that I want and click the envelope. Now, and it'll send it'll open up our integrated email system to send this an email. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Typically, you're going to get a menu that pops up in our system giving you a description of some options you have when performing a certain task. In this case, it's asking me, do I want to use the instant email system, the normal, or Outlook? Almost always I use the instant, which is the default. So I can click instant, or I can hit enter on my keyboard, and it'll bring me to the integrated email system. Now here's me sending that contact a manual email. I can simply type in the subject what I want. I can put in okay. And I can even use our snippet area to have multiple types of signatures in the system. I hit send, and I'm firing off an email. Okay. When I'm done with the email, it automatically takes me right back to the record that I just sent to, which is nice. So that's how I can send a manual email directly from a contact record. I don't have to go into my Gmail account if I've added that Gmail account to Credit Money Machine as one of my email accounts. And we can show you how to do that and set up when you sign up, all that good stuff. Also, right below the email is you'll see a field called templates. What's really neat here is that I can actually send a pre-written email to this contact record by selecting from a list of templates that I've created in my system. And here's my little list. So maybe I want to send this person an About Us email. I select my About ECS email. I click the button. Here, I'll do it again just so you guys can see it. I've got my About Us or About ECS email template selected by clicking in the field and selecting from a drop-down like you see here. And then I go all the way to the right to the envelope, just like I did when I sent the manual email. And I just click on it. And here's, when I'm sending a template, the software is going to give me an option of sending this email either from myself by default, or I can go into my drop-down here and select from one of my other agents in my company. And if I want to send it from one of these other agents, for example, George here, I would select him in the box, and then I would hit the selected button, because now I'm sending this email from the person I have selected in the box up top. So I can either go with the default, which is myself, or I can go with the selected option, which is the person I have highlighted here in the box. In this case, I am going to go ahead and go with the default, which is myself. So I'll click there. Again, it's going to give me the option of sending this email in with Instant, Normal, or Outlook. And here's my template. You'll notice that it's personalized already because the email template that I created had personalization in it.
I asked it to go ahead and put the client's first name or the contact record's first name in this area. And I can preview the email I want to send out to this person before I send it. Once I'm happy with the way it's written, or if I decide I want to customize something, I can do that on the fly in this template. Okay, if I want to delete this, maybe I want it to come from me and I want it to only have my information in it, for example. Okay, I can simply erase information I don't want to include and then send the email. Okay, email sent. And I'm back on the record. Below that, you'll see here I've got a URL. This is for an affiliate. Typically, you'll put the affiliate's website address in here. In this case, her being a lead, or maybe she's a client in this example, what I did was put her portal link, her client portal link, because I've got a portal created for her, and I'll show you that in a second. But I put that here for the purpose of being able to send this link to the client really easily with another area of the system, and maybe I'll show you that. It's kind of a new feature that we have. It's a QR system, so I can send that QR, which is a barcode that they can scan, and it'll take them right to their portal. Kind of a really neat option. But that's why I put that here. On an affiliate, like in this case, I've got George. I'll actually go to a sample record. I'll go to my sample records and show you guys more of a traditional affiliate in the system. Okay, so here's Johnny affiliate. He's actually got an affiliate tied to him called Johnny Mortgage. But in this case, I just want to show you that with this guy, I'd probably have a standard website like this. The reason I would do that is if I want to be able to take a look at his website with one click, right to the right of this field in my system, I can click here, and it takes me to, I don't know if this is a real website, by the way. It's not, but right inside my software, the software has a built-in browser, an internal browser, that allows me to browse the internet or browse this guy's website and keep his contact information to the right over here, so that I can view his information at the same time I'm taking a look at his website, if this was his website, and I can gather more information and add it to his contact. I can call him while viewing his site. Okay, I can add him to an auto messenger, all kinds of good stuff. So I just want to show you guys this, just so you guys have the general idea of what the navigation of a contact record is. I'm going to go ahead and go back. So you'll notice a lot of back buttons in the system. One looks like this, where it's just going to say back. It's going to take me back to where I was before I clicked on it. As you can see, I'm back on a contact record. And then there's other back arrows. And let's see if I can find a good example for you guys. See, I think I can go in here. No, that's close. When I find one, when I come across it as I'm showing you the system, I'll give an example of a back arrow versus the back button. Let's go back to Apple Sample. Okay, so I've covered adding a contact, adding, typing in the information, how to kind of understand what these icons are. Just hover over them. This is more contacts. So if I wanted to have, if there's people at this that are connected to Apple Sample in some way, but I don't want to create a separate contact record for them, for those people, I don't need their phone number, any of that stuff, I can just add their names. It's just an extra field that you can use any way you want. If there are people linked to her, like, for example, if I have a married couple and I want to have those two contact records connected to each other, I'll show you how to do that in a second, but that's what this little button up top is showing, and I'll show you how to do that in 1 minute. But before I do that, I want to show you guys the next area here, the sales source, and how to connect an affiliate like I have here or a sales source to a contact record. So let's see if we've got in my sample records, see who we've got and see if I've got any that are not connected. Okay, I will just delete this one. Okay, so let's say I've got Scott Bravo here. He's a lead in my system, as you can see here. And he was referred to me by somebody, by one of my referral partners. Now, this drop down or this menu that I popped up, all I did was go click right in the field for sales source to identify who this, to assign this affiliate or sales source to the contact. In this case, I'm going to say Johnny Mortgage with Prime Mortgage here was the guy that referred Scott Bravo. And I now have him assigned or attached as the affiliate. And I can simply assign a commission if I want to pay this person a commission on this lead if it ever closes. And I can do both percentages and fixed dollar amounts like you see here. There's $100. There's 15%. And you can set up this drop-down menu. You can customize this drop-down menu in the setup area of your system, which you can find right in the quick menu under company area. And I'll just show you that real quick. So we'll click there. And where I'm going to change that is I'm going to go to lists and I'm going to go to commission levels. And you'll see I've got my different commission levels. And I can type these in. So 0.79 is 79%, right? Whatever I want to do. So I can add to this menu. I can delete stuff out of my menu. And the cool part is in the system, which is just more efficient, especially once you get used to it, I don't have to hit save here. Once I've made the change, it's done. The system understands it, has it in the system. You know, I can add 500 here. And now when I go back, the contact record, I'll see right in my drop down, here's 500, like I added. Okay. 50%, et cetera, et cetera. So I can assign a commission if I want there to be a commission that's paid out on this contact, and that'll be assigned either manually by me. I'll just see that it's there, or automatically when I run a credit card on this guy for a certain dollar amount. Okay, so adding an affiliate to a contact is very easy. Obviously, to have that contact or that affiliate in my drop down here, I actually have to have them as a contact record in my system. So I have to have added them through the Add Contacts area as an affiliate. Once they're in my system and they're marked as an affiliate, okay, and this little blue box, right, this little box here, so if I go to Johnny Mortgage, and I'll show you a little shortcut to go to Johnny Mortgage, and go right here, and if I hover, it says go to sales source record based on the field to the left. Okay. Let me click there. Takes me to Johnny Mortgage. Pretty cool. And I'll notice that my little referral box is X'd, which makes sure that I have him, this record, in my drop-down here. It identifies it as somebody I want to be in my drop-down. So remember, if I want it in this menu so that I can add it to a contact record or connect it as an affiliate for a contact record, they have to have this is referral box marked. Now, let's talk about how to search records. You guys see me kind of navigate the system really quick. To go and find other contacts in the system, to find a specific record, there's a couple ways I can do it. Number one is in the quick menu here, I can go to Find Contacts. When I click on Find Contacts, it's going to bring up this menu, and it's going to give me an option to look at using a previous search, so sample records. Quick find, and if there's more than one record it found that met my search criteria, it's going to tell me how many I found. So it found 8 contacts, and I can select a mini or a full list to display them. The only difference between full and mini is the amount of information that's displayed in this list format. I always go with full. It's the default, and it just shows me, you know, pretty basic information: email, phone number, sales status, which I'll show you guys in a second where that is. And I can find the record I want to contact or I want to bring up right here. And I can just click on the record to open up that contact. Okay. The other way that I can find contacts, and it's the same exact menu like that, except it's a shortcut that I can hit Control on my keyboard, Control 4, and it pops up automatically without me having to go to my quick menu. I showed you the previous search here, but now I can also type a search. And what's nice about this is I don't have to be exact. I can say app, right? App sample. Well, what this is I'm looking for Apple sample. I know that I have a record in my system, and the first 2 letters of the name are AP, and the first couple letters of the last name are SAM. The less detailed I am in my search, the more chance there is to find multiple records. The more detailed, the more specific I am, probably the smaller list of contacts I'll find in my system. Okay. Now, when I do that search, so let's go back here and do the search again. I can also search by quite a few things. I could search by phone number right here. I don't have to go look somewhere else. In this box, I can search by many different things. So, to give you an example, let's go to a sample record. Okay, it found 8 contacts. Let's go to Casper the Ghost here. Okay, and I'm on Casper the Ghost, and I want to look for a record for 763 and their phone number. I found 13 contacts with the number 763 on that contact. So here's the list. Now you'll notice it's not area code 763, but it's got 763 on that contact. And so it brought up 13 contacts. Now, if I went with a specific phone number, so let's go back to my sample records here. Okay, and I go to Apple sample here, and I get real specific. I want to search, I know this person's phone number by heart. I'm on a completely different record. I'm on Jamie Bravo or Scott Bravo. And I want to search by a phone number. I've got a phone number. I want to see if I have this person in my system or have this phone number in my system. I can enter it. Boom. It brings me to the record that has that matching criteria in one of the fields. Okay. So searching the system for contacts is really easy, really fast, as you can tell. I can type just about whatever I can possibly remember about that record, and it's likely going to find it. If there's something I know that's going to help me narrow down my database of contacts, I can type it in here, and in most cases, if that information is in the system, it's gonna find it, which is you know, easy to navigate the system. While I'm doing that, while I'm showing you guys, so the search feature is pretty easy. Again, find contacts or Control 4. If I want to know where to find the shortcuts in the system, I can go right up here to this little top bar to the box that says scripts, and it's going to show me kind of my little quick shortcuts to different areas of the system. So if you guys want to use shortcuts, go to scripts and memorize those. I use them all the time. It helps me navigate the system really quickly. While we're on this main screen, I also want to show you guys kind of what some of this stuff up top is. So I've gone through this main contact area. I'm skipping around a little bit, but it's because I want it to make sense to you guys. So I've shown you this. Now that I'm talking about the search feature, the find contacts, I also want you to kind of know what these numbers are up here. So what you see here is I've got 4,974 total contact records in my system. That's what this is showing me. And I'm on record 1 of 1. That's because I searched out Apple Sample and it found 1 record that met my criteria. If it found 8 records that met my criteria, I'd be on record 1 of 8, so, or 8 of 8, whatever the case. So let's do that. Let's go here and let's go to my sample records again, because I know there's 8 of those. And I pick any one of these. Let's say Johnny Mortgage here. And now you'll see that what I've done is I've narrowed my selected records from 4,974 down to 8 records, and I'm on 1 of 8 in that list. Okay. Now I can stay in that selected group of contacts and go from one to the next by simply using these arrows here to go to number 2, number 3, number 4, etc. I can go all the way back to number 1 of 8 or to 8 of 8 here. The other thing I can do is go back to that list. Remember when I did the search, it said, hey, you have 8 records. Asked me if I wanted to use the mini list or the full list. I chose the full list. Well, I can go back to that again. I can go to list contacts, and it's going to show me those same 8 contacts because I'm looking at a list of 8. So I go back to my list, and I can select a record from here as well without doing a search. And again, basically what I'm doing is I'm on number 4 of 8 in that list. If I want to access my entire database, I want all records selected or available, I click the All button, and now you'll see I'm on record number 4,694 out of 4,974. And I can go again from one record to the next. Okay. Back to my sample records here. So searching the system is very easy. You've got your kind of little navigation bar up here. The other way to search records, so I've shown you find contacts. I've shown you the little shortcut. And here's another one. It's just another icon. There's 3 different ways to search for records. Same exact search, same exact functionality, same exact menu. It's just another little icon, another way to navigate the system and search for records. Okay. The link contact. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to do it on a record that's not already linked so you guys can see the process of linking 2 contacts together in this area. Linking contacts is most used by credit card companies, obviously, with a husband and wife or you know, a joint enrollment. So here's how it works. Let's go to somebody that's not linked to anybody. So okay, Sandy McCain. Let's see who I want to link them to, and Casper Ghost. So that's who I'm going to link together. Okay. So I've got Sandy McCain. Let's say her fiance, whoever it is she signed up with, is Casper Ghost. To link these 2, I'm simply just going to go on either one of their records. In this case, I'm on Sandy McCain. I'm going to go up to the link contact button and just click on it. And you're going to see a menu. There's quite a few options here, but in this case, what I'm going to do is link current contact, this current record, link to current. Okay. And it's going to ask me, well, who do I want to link this to? And I'm just going to type in the name. I'm going to find that record in the system. Now, if it finds more than one option, it's going to bring up a list just like any other search. Then I select the record from that search that I want to link. In this case, it's probably going to find this specific record because there's only one Casper Ghost in my system. So I'm going to hit Quick Find. And because there is only one, it's automatically going to link it. So Contact Casper Ghost was linked to current contact. Okay. There it is. And it's going to, this is the next screen that's going to pop up. It's going to show me that, hey, I've got Sandy McCain and Casper Ghost linked. And from this little menu here, which is really cool, I can click on Casper Ghost to go to his record. So I can go back and forth between the 2 records. See that? Okay. And also what it's going to show is now you'll see this box, this button up here is lit up yellow. The reason it's lit up yellow is it's identifying to me that this contact is linked to another contact or other contacts. It can be linked to many contacts, as you can see here. I could have this entire box full of contacts this thing's linked to, this record is. Okay? Now, part of that menu, now that I've closed that out, how do I see who Casper Ghost from this screen, when that menu's not open, who he's linked to? Well, I go click the link contact button again, and I just hit the show button because it's going to show me who he's linked to. So that's how I open up this middle menu that shows who Casper, or Sandy in this case, is linked to. And let's go back to sample records. I'll show you the mini list. And what this does, allow me to sort by name. Okay. So I can do it here in a smaller list and select from here. Okay. So Bob Tester is not linked to anybody. You can see that right here because it's not yellow. So if I were to click here and hit show, what's going to come up? Nothing. See that? Just his record. He's not linked to anybody. All right. Next, part of the basic training here. So I've covered the entire contact box up here, or most of it. I've covered some of the navigation up top. And now I'm going to talk about the tabs down below. So on any contact record, it's a good habit, I'm sure, and I'm hoping that you're informing your employees to do this, to follow this procedure, this process. But you should notate every conversation, every action that has any meaning or potential meaning on a contact. So if I were to call Bob Tester here to talk to him or whatever, I would click down below to add a note. So what I did is I've got the notes tab selected and I hit the plus sign to add a note. And then I'm just going to type in call to discuss progress. Save. Adds a note, date and time stamps it. I've added a note. Okay. Couple little nice little add-ons to the notes area is just a quick note feature, which is cool, is this little V button here. Again, if I hover, it'll tell me this option will enter a note saying voice message left with just one click. So I click it. It shows me what it's going to put in there, and I can hit continue. It'll add the note. But I can also click in the box, and I can add to the note if I want to. Or again, I can just hit the button, hit continue, boom, it adds the note. Another little quick one is the H. If I hover over there, it's going to say support received or support given. So support given. Again, I can hit continue and it'll just add that quick note. Or I can type whatever I want and add the note with one quick click. Very convenient, very fast way to notate a contact record. Next tab over, the history. This is going to show, it's kind of like the tattletale function or the documentation function that's going to tell you who's doing what on a contact record in the system. It's going to be major items like deleting a phone number, an email address, sending an email template from the system like I showed you guys earlier, changing the sales source like it says here. It's going to tell you who did what and when on a record. Documents tab, this is where you can attach documents to a contact record. Again, what you'll notice is you don't have to leave the contact. I can just go right to the tab here. Again, just like the notes, hit the plus sign. And I'm going to name the document or the field that I'm adding in this case. So I'm going to say ID docs W2. I'm going to create for current record. Okay. What it does is it labels this field, this row, and then if I want to add the document, right under the word doc right here, just going to go right into this box, click on it, menu pops up, and I'm going to hit import to import a document, to bring a document in. Okay, and then it's going to let me browse my computer for a document that I want to add. We'll add this document here. Boom. Now I can see that there's a document. Oops. I can see there's a document attached to this record because that box now has an icon in it. In this case, it was an Excel spreadsheet. If I want to view that document, I can click in the same box and click View, and it'll open that document. I'm going to go ahead and delete that document. Very quick, very easy. If I want to delete this line, I can hit the little garbage can to the right, and it'll delete this entire row. This. You'll notice the system is always going to ask you, are you sure? When you're deleting something. It's just kind of a nice little security feature. Also in the system, I'm not going to, here, I'm going to go to a record that doesn't have so many emails. In the system, when I click on this email tab, I can see all emails sent to or received from this email address, whatever email address is on the contact record as their main email. Okay, that's how it's going to know to attach that email or list that email in this box. And I'll just show you on Apple Sample. I've got the same email on her record. So you'll see here's a list of the emails that have gone back and forth. Okay, this is a nice feature because at any point in time, I can literally go to the email. I can preview it here. So it opens up that box and I can kind of tell, you know, what the message is. So and I can see if it's the right one. If I want to see the attachment, I can go to the email, open up the attachment. And these are all emails sent or received. And you'll also notice in here, you'll see the status of the email. That was sent by me, okay? Or it was received and read. It was deleted. I can still open up this email. Even though it's marked as deleted, it doesn't really delete the email. It just categorizes as deleted, so I don't have to think about it or see it. But the nice part about that is if it's something that I later on decide, oh man, I wish I went to deleted that, it's no big deal. I can go to that email right here. Here it is. It's in my little preview box. If I want to see it in full view, here it is. Okay. It's marked as deleted. That's all right. I can still go look at it if I want to. Okay. Invoices. If I've created invoices for this contact, I'm not going to cover adding invoices on this training. That's going to be a more of an advanced training. Not that it's difficult by any means. It's actually extremely easy. But I want to just cover basic navigation and task management. But I can see invoices. I can go to invoices, all that good stuff. Progress, this is where I'm going to see the progress of the client or see the client portal. So I can go to Progress tab. If there's a portal that's been posted, I can go to the Click to See Web Page in Browser icon here. And I can choose to view it externally or internally. In this case, I'll do it internal so you guys can see it in the system. Here's Apple Sample's client portal. One click, boom, I'm looking at her portal right inside my system. When I've seen all that I want to see, okay, and I can navigate just like I can online. I just hit the back button. Boom, I go back to where I was. Okay. All right, so I've been extremely detailed in this training on this part because I really want you guys to know how to use the system. I want you guys to be able to kind of navigate the basic area, the basic contact area. Now I'm going to show you guys the task manager. This is your follow-up system. This is your task system. Again, you'll notice it's right here on the record in the quick menu. And what's nice is when I click Task Manager, now I can see the contact record. I can see all my tasks for this particular contact, and I can even see the contact status for this client. And you'll see I have a main contact status and a secondary status. You guys can change this drop-down, the contact status, just like you can the commission area drop-down or menu in the company setup area in your quick menu. So when I go to quick menu, I go to company area, I go to lists, contact status. Whatever I have typed in here will be in my dropdown. So if I wanted to add a number 12 here and say training, I'll add that status. I simply add it, go back to my contact record, and in the task manager, when I go look at my drop-down menu now, you'll see that training was added that quickly. And that's globally. That'll be on every contact record. This menu will be available. Now, when I'm adding a task, let's clear these out here. Pretend this is brand new. I've got Apple Sample here, and I want to add a task. Well, there's a couple ways to do it. I like just going right here on the little task manager area, the contact status area, because I like to see what status they're in. Let's say this is a new lead. Okay, new lead, and I want to add a task. I want to add an appointment, a follow-up call, whatever. I just hit the plus button here, and this little menu is going to pop up. And again, just like sending the email earlier, it's going to ask, do you want to set up this task for yourself by default, which I could just hit the enter button on my keyboard or click the button, or do I want to create this task for somebody else in my company? So let's do two tasks. Let's do one for me, so self by default. You'll notice my initials here. It says task created for Chad Smith by Chad Smith. All right, great. Now I want to notate, and I can see that here as well. I want to notate what the purpose of this task is, or what the notes on the task are. I can just click in the box. I can click down here, either one. They're kind of parallel. And I can just type here, task for task for training. Now that I've created my task, or the description of my task, I get to determine time of day, start time and end time if I want. I don't have to put in a time. I can just make it something I need to do on a certain day. So start time, end time, date. Okay, I can select from my little calendar here. I can right arrow to go to the next month, just like that. In this case, let's just go make the task for tomorrow. And then after I've done my date, so my time and date, now it's going to ask me for a priority. Priority 3 is the lowest priority. Priority 1 is the highest priority. I'm going to make this a priority 1 task. Okay. Now, if I want to be reminded with a pop-up in the system saying, hey, you have a priority 1 task, you have a specific time and date that you're supposed to call this person, well, that means I have to have a time, at least have a start time and a date. So if I go start time, date, priority 1, the system is going to give me a pop-up reminder that's making it important. If it's task, if it's level 2 or 3 or priority 2 or 3, it's not going to give me a reminder, but I still will be able to see that I have a task, a pending task in the system. So let's keep it a priority 2. And then let's go ahead and add another task. I can do it right here. But let's make this one for somebody else in my company. It's still going to be a task on this record. This time it's going to be for somebody else. Okay. Now I can see there are 2 tasks for this contact. The one I set for myself and the one I'm setting for George. And in this case, it'll be so that would be the task maybe I assigned to George in this case. Okay. And again, I can set this for a different time, date. I don't have to give it a time if I don't want to. But if I want to be specific, let's say this is a 15-minute task.
I'm going to block that time off for him and say I want that done today, priority 1. This will give him a reminder because I made it priority 1. I gave it a start time and a date. Now this is already in the past, so let's move forward here. And we'll change the end time as well. Okay. And if I want to see all tasks for this client, I just hit the all tasks button and you'll see both tasks. You see the description, start time, end time, all that good stuff. Okay. So that's setting tasks or follow-ups, how to prioritize them. Pretty straightforward. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is kind of how to manage those tasks. That's how you set them. Now, how do you know to do them? If you don't set it priority 1 with a date and time, how do you know to complete those tasks? Well, there's a couple ways that you can do that. My favorite way is, again, without leaving the contact record, is I can go up here to this little T here. It says Task Assistant. What this is going to do is display in a little pop-up all of my tasks that are due today or in the past. Nothing in the future. It's kind of like my daily to-do list. So I'm going to go up here to the T, click it to open my Task Assistant, and here's all my tasks, okay, that are due today or in the past. I can click on any of them. Let's go to this one. I click on it, it takes me to that contact record. I can go to the task manager, and I can mark that task as complete when I'm done. Okay, I actually had 2 tasks for him. So let's do this one too. And then I go to my next task. Now you guys can see I got a ton of tasks on here because I'm a busy guy. And then there's some that are blank, and it's because I use this system right now. I use a lot of this for training, and so there's some that I delete the contact record on, which I shouldn't do because I'm deleting a contact record that has an active task. It's not going to hurt anything, but it does, create blank records like that. So that's one way. The other way I can kind of understand what my day looks like or what tasks I have is I can go to my task calendar, and I can look at it by month, which you'll see is there's a lot of information in each day. If I want to make this a little bit more easy to look at, I can look at my week. And now I can see these tasks displayed. I can click on any one of these. So Apple Sample here, I click on her record or that task. It brings me to her record to complete that task. Okay. Task calendar, I can also go to the day, and it's going to break down that day. And I can also go to list tasks, and it'll just be a big list of all my tasks. That's probably about as far as I want to go today as far as the standard training, because that's a lot of information for you to take in. I think I've spent about 50 minutes on the system. I'll open up for a few quick questions, but like I said, typically on the basic training, I don't take as many questions. I want you guys to just see the video or see the webinar and then go navigate the system. Remember to hover over icons to see what exactly it is they do. Okay, a lot of times you'll have a menu pop up. Read the description of the menu. Read what everything says, and then click on it, see what it does. All right, let's see what we got, see if we have any questions. Okay. Let's see. While I'm waiting on questions. Oh, another thing I'll show you guys while I'm on this screen, because we do have about 5 minutes left before I've got to end the webinar, is the More Fields area. More Fields
what this does is this allows you to add additional information and additional details. These 4 fields here are searchable. So you notice that I have sample records in here. That's what allows me to do that search where I look for sample records, and it brings up those 8 contacts that I have marked as sample records. So that's how I find those 8 records. The other thing you'll see is these little black arrows throughout the system. Okay, black arrows. These allow you to search the field that it's pointing at. So here I can search contact status. I can click this black arrow, and you'll notice it brings up a menu, and it says, what do you want to search? Do you want to search new leads? And I can open this drop down and look for people with this contact status, records in my system with that contact status. Second, I can do the same thing, secondary status here. I can do it here, so I can look for all people, all records, and I can search by record type, client active, not active, client lead, affiliate, etc. So let's do affiliate, and let's do it from the selected group. So the 8 records I have displayed are all records in my entire system. In this case, I'm going to say selected. So I found 2 affiliates out of the selected contacts that I have. And here they are. All right, looks like I've kind of hit my time. I hope you guys learn a lot from this. I hope it helps you guys navigate the system. Remember, every Friday I do an advanced training. The advanced trainings will usually cover something more advanced, obviously, like the account receivables, payables, and invoicing area, maybe auto messengers, maybe workflows, maybe ways to group contacts in the system and send out marketing to them, that kind of stuff. Hope the video helps you out. Have a great day, and see you soon.